Well, I notice you have the Aussie bobblehead, so I'm expecting that at some point in this particular hack, it's called the Competence hack.
All right, competence.
Yeah, take it away.
Well, it's kind of like the beholder hack. You know, we have these motivational beliefs. And we learned last time that you don't want to make a subjective evaluation of beliefs. You just want to be aware of what they are. But people also have beliefs about who they are and how they represent themselves to the world. So we have this thing called a competency belief, which basically says, this is who I am and this is how I see myself and how I want others to see me.
This is how I see myself as far as how competent I am?
Well, competence doesn't necessarily mean like what you know out of a textbook. Competence is more related to if somebody else was to describe your best qualities, what would they say and what would you want them to say? So Ozzy over here, if you know him, he's a rock and roller, he's in the group Black Sabbath, and his big thing, besides wanting to be acting like he had some sort of mental issues, you know, if you watch the series, remember the series he had? He's always foggy. But for Ozzy, that's how he wanted to portray himself. He was the foggy rock and roller that bit the heads off of bats, and he wanted to create like a reputation. So for him, competence was being this crazy kind of weird, mysterious guy that you could never predict what he would say or what he would do, and that was part of his identity and his profile. Now, we're all very different. For you, competence can be being very sociable or being very knowledgeable, and I know what's part of your competence is having worldly experiences, traveling and learning different cultures. That's really important to you. I think that's part of who you are.
Right. So how do you then actually apply the hack?
Well, see, again, this is a choice. You're making a choice as to what you feel your competency is based upon. And we want to be conscious of that choice because obviously if we are, let's say one measure of your competence is knowledge of pizzas. Okay, so if you want to be perceived by your friends and yourself as I'm the most knowledgeable person in the world about pizzas, what are you going to be doing most of the time?
Talking about pizza.
Oh, going to pizza
places.
Okay, so if you realize this, then you can channel your energy in a particular direction with a particular intensity and be aware of it and know how it is either assisting you in guiding your behaviors or it's actually detracting from what you do because it's not important to you. And that's really the second part. And I'll bring in the example of my son Robert. Before he passed away, I had lots of conversations with him. He wanted to be Mr. Fun-Loving Guy, and I said to him, is that how you want to be seen by the rest of the world? And he said yes, and he was quite happy with that. But sometimes we're not happy with who we are or who we want to be, how we want to be seen by other people, and that can cause us motivational issues as well because we start to withdraw.
Right.
So know what your how you define your competency. Everyone in the world has a competency belief, and it's equally valuable to all people, but all of our competency beliefs are actually different. So again, if you can diagnose that in somebody else, you're in a much better position to motivate them.
Okay. And that wraps up the competency hack.